Former President Donald Trump has openly vowed to seek revenge against his political enemies if he does return to the White House. And today's Supreme Court ruling could give him enormous leeway to do just that. As Democrats are sounding the alarm, Trump's former Attorney General Bill Barr, though, is arguing that that concern is exaggerated.
I think those concerns are overblown about him seeking personal revenge against people. And second, I think that there are sufficient institutional checks and balances that's very difficult to do, and certainly difficult to do without it being detected. So the idea that he's going to be able to go out and weaponize, as they say, the Department of Justice against his adversaries, I don't think there's a particularly acute risk of that.
Joining me now, another former top Trump official, Ambassador John Bolton, who served as Donald Trump's national security advisor and also as an assistant attorney general under President Reagan. So it's great to have you here, Ambassador. As you first read this indictment of Trump in the January 6th case that this whole decision stemmed from, you said you didn't think any of the acts were official acts. So I wonder what you made of this ruling today.
Well, I wouldn't have written the opinion this way at all. I do think that they overstated what the extent of immunity was, although they provided a lot of opportunity to question aspects of it, saying it was only presumptive immunity. I think the key thing that they could have done more of, was to distinguish between official acts and non-official acts, which the D.C. Circuit and the District Court did not do an adequate job of. And by the way, when people complain about the Supreme Court taking too long to decide this case, if Jack Smith hadn't overstated his claims, like Trump overstated his claims, maybe there would have been more examination in the courts below of what's official, what's not official. In terms of the Jack Smith indictment, the vast bulk of it deals with the efforts on the fake elector scheme out in the states. Much less of it deals with the Justice Department. So I think the indictment survives, and I think that there's a lot more to come. I think there's going to be another Supreme Court decision before this case goes to trial. I do think that there was not enough consideration by the majority to what the circumstances are where you can look at the president's motives. And that's where I think Bill Barr is wrong on what Trump is going to do. He is going to try to use the Justice Department to seek retribution against his enemies.
Well, this was the fascinating part of this, where they're saying that any communications he had with the Justice